Hello everyone, I'm Trey, and today I want to talk about Genshin Impact's newest character, Neuvillette. Monsieur Neuvillette has been with us for a little bit shorter than a week, but already visited 2 different abyss rotations. With that in mind, let us discuss how a relatable Neuvillette performs in those abysses. Well, what is a relatable Neuvillette? I don't know, some free-to-play affordable weapon, a week or so worth of daily resin artifact farming, and a ton of murdering seal life for the judge himself. And honestly, with this build, he performs quite well. Well, what are the teams you played, you may ask? Well, first one I tried is Freeze. Previous Abyss, it was quite hard to play Freeze teams. Mostly because of all freeze-resistant and cryo-shielded enemies like Cryo-Season Mage and Capellius. Although current Abyss, it feels more welcoming to freezing, especially if you have means to group enemies up. Venti, Kazuha, Ganyu, Layla, all the Morgana remnants. Another good team comp I found is Vaporize, and to be honest, it performed better than I anticipated. Still, maybe Child, Ayato, and of course Barbara feel a little bit comfier with Vaporized Queen, Shenling, well, because sometimes you just don't wanna go in melee with Neuvillette, but still he deals tons of vape damage, especially in AoE scenarios, right? Personally, I found Electra Charge super fun. The fact that Beidou can proc off Neuvillette's charge attacks? It's kinda unfair, man. It's like he's already had millions of AoE damage. Now he also has Beidou's? What? And of course, Fischl being Fischl, Oz doing the patach, and Ye looking smug. I think the electrocharge teams are very effective. Hypercarry is also a thing with Neuvillette, like, Slap Sucrose or Kazuha, maybe other Hydro and or Electro characters, and boom! Elemental damage. And last but not least, Hyperbloom and Nilobloom. Then boom! Everyone's dead. It's super effective, as you can see on the footage. And the thing is, all of those teams, well, almost, were and are viable in the previous and current abysses. That's just awesome. But the thing I really want to discuss, though, is like the character's controls. Charging attacks is super satisfying, like, unless you don't have the orbs, then it is a little bit cringe. Canceling Carl! Sometimes you can just grab the balls, heal him, use dash cancel, and just scatter. I know some people say that he needs his S1 for the damage interruption. Well, it might be unfair with S1, but its main point is damage increase, I think. Because, you see, thankfully, every time he is interrupted, he does not go something like, "You will pay for that," and locks himself in some stupid animation, like certain flying individual does. I would love to tell you about the high-end performance of, C6R5 Neuvillette, but unfortunately I got his Constellation 6 only in my bad dream. But hey, I can confirm that he deals damage. He does. About the Abyss rotations though, both of them felt really good to play with Mr. Judge, especially, of course, the new one that was almost tailored for him, and maybe Risley. The Copium couple boss might be somewhat annoying with their, fast attacks, but, the fact that you can just spend almost all of your uptime on the other side of the arena, just sipping some water, it does kind of help. Though I would not double down on the AoE supporters there, because yes, you will have a field time on the first chamber. I wonder, is it possible to murder Neuvillette with Nilo Blooms there? I think it is, let me know. Chamber 2 and 3 are boss battles that might require some, single target damage dealers. I am using Hyperbloom here, and it helps both in AoE scenarios and single target. It is kind of funny that here we can see just, Hydro Carry, Danger Support, Electro Healer, and Geo Shielder, and they're doing super well. Well, to no surprise, they're really effective characters, and to be honest, they are on top of their game. The question is though, is Neuvillette worth your Primogems? Well, I think it depends. It depends on your current roster, I believe. If you're still lacking this one Hydro character who will be the driver for your team, then probably yes. The fact that he can both self-heal also helps. But in terms of power level, I would rank him somewhere around Alhazen in terms of carry and reaction capabilities. Plus there are still other Fontaine characters to release, right? I did not look into the leaks, but something tells me that, sooner or later there should be a character that maybe rewards or emphasizes the HP decrease mechanic. So there's that. Yeah, and also on floor 12, chamber 3, on the previous abyss, we got frozen quite a lot. That was a little bit not comfortable, albeit I think it can be prevented by some cryo shields with Diona and Layla. Overall, previous abyss was not much harder than the current one, even though the current one is catering towards the Neuvillette and Riesling. Oh yes, and of course the co-boss. On the second half, I decided to go a little bit, fancy and brought some AoE damage dealers. But I did not count that any sneeze of the boss actually destroys any Geo construct. Well, that was a little bit sad, because I had to relocate them all the time in order to have some consistent damage, right? That was not the pleasant experience. To be honest, here even though Neuvillette won us 2 whole minutes for this part, we were quite struggling in here. And I even had to restart a few times. Partly because a few times in the fight I swirled cryo, which was not perfect. And few times our DPS Jean-Lee did not greet with his burst. But overall, it was some fun experience, because we already 36 started with different teams. And overall, that was an interesting and very fun fight. I really enjoyed this one. Especially with characters that are not suited for this type of combat, that usually are much more better in the AoE scenarios. The new Abyss though also plays with the balance of its encounters, giving us 3 boss battles and 3 multi-target fights. Ironically, I found Xingqiu working on the second half really well with the teams that Neuvillette would run. But that is that. Previous Abyss is a history, and here's a new one. I'll leave you with the footage for a minute and then return for the conclusion. Have a nice one.
So take my hand, my friend. Now I'm ready for
Honestly, Neuvillette is a fine and super fun addition to the Hydra family. And, maybe good addition to your roster, who knows? What do you think about the Judge of Fontaine? Please do let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed my mumbling, please consider supporting with a like. And hey, this huge red button with an S word on it looks very suspicious, don't you think?
A new power is rising. Its victory is at hand. And its name is Trey.